Ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
And I'm Ringru. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, just a day or so ago, we did bring you the first match of 2019 with a 1v1 between Sombra and Samson. You should go check that out. But today, we want to kick things up a notch. We're actually go for a 2v2. We're back to our old nemesis, St Mere Eglaise. And Rang, I do not relish your job today. Who do we have playing?
Well, on the left-hand side, in blue, I'm actually going to give this a shot. We have Karvainen Haki playing as the SAS division. I think we're just going to call him Car. I think that's nice and easy. Just
Or
Car.
drop the hammer.
Or drop the hammer. And we have ourselves the hairyspider as the Guards Armor division. Right-hand side, thankfully, we have Fussel as first assassin and Crick Play as 17th SS. Nice, easy to pronounce names. Thank you very much.
Indeed. So we have two SS divisions on one side, and we have the Demis and the Guards on the others. How does the Demi and Guards kind of interaction play?
Pretty good. You got the Guards that just tank spam everything, then you got SAS which do well in towns, get airplanes, and then they tank spam later on.
Indeed. So folks, as always, the standard disclaimer, this is a 2v2, so there'll be tons of death and destruction. Please forgive us if one sees it and the other one doesn't, or if we did, just end up missing it altogether. We do have a nice Lysander up here, way up high in the sky, throwing down those hand grenades of his.
Yeah, do love seeing that Lysander. Such a useful unit early on. And Carl is just rushing into the town. He's SAS. He's got those speedy French boys.
He does, doesn't he? I'm amused by the fact that we have a traction. He's going to need traction in a second. Partisans sprinting into the front over here. Actually, you know what? Now, in retrospect, I really like that play. You sacrifice a 15-point unit to slow up the enemy just enough to start seizing territory. I've never really thought about using the Demi Brigade that way.
Yeah, it's such a fun... That's one of the reasons I really love playing Demi, is that you can just rush up extremely fast right into a great place to ambush the enemy right as the match begins. Really gives you a really good edge at the start.
I'm going to say as well, I'm going to shamelessly plug you here. Guys, there's a 222 down to the south that was engaging that Lysander. The Lysander, of course, was not particularly, confuzzled by it. But Rang just did drop his unit of the week was a 222. If you want to see it, check that out. Go for it. Me personally, I'm waiting for the Volksdeutsche, unit of the week to come out, Rang. So let's get on that, please.
I've actually been thinking of doing that run. It's just, I don't really know how to explain the unit history, as very, informal.
Okay, well, here we go. Germans had no people to serve in their army in the end. They selected scraping the barrel as their war doctrine while they were playing Hearts of Iron 4, and thus the Volksdeutsche were born.
Yeah.
A second Lysander, actually, too. This is actually very interesting to see so much investment into, let's call it air power. I'm putting that heavily in quotes.
Yeah, it's a good core early on. It's definitely gonna force the Axes to start investing in some AA, rather quick, or some sort of airplane. As his Lysander is just gonna be a pain in the ass until he can deal with that. Because he's gonna go right for the IG-18, yeah. And that's just gonna stun it up.
Well, as well he should.
Boom.
I'm watching him doing that, and I'm just imagining like a Looney Tunes cartoon. Yosemite Sam is flying for the Germans, and Bugs Bunny for the Allies back in World War I. I don't know why, but it comes in mind. In any case, the Allies have managed to take a good portion of St Mere Eglaise. Thankfully, no one has dropped down on top of that church tower. And hung there for hours and hours and hours. I'm not sure if that's landing right now, but those bombs certainly are. And there's a threatening of a +1, just maybe?
Yeah. That's a really good taking that town. As you hold the town, it's pretty easy to hold the rest of the map. The Germans, they're pushing a little bit on the flanks, but nothing really too heavy. I mean, up north we got a little bit of skirmishing here, the 223. A mortar to move from tree beds. That's really it.
That's kind of what we expected. I mean, early on, the infantry fight is going to fairly consistently go to the Demis. ironically, despite the fact that the SS, divisions were so powerful, let's say in the middle of the war, they had very little infantry in this game.
Yeah. I'm actually rather surprised that 17th hasn't managed to put up a bit of a better fight, because they do got a lot of stormtroops, and you pretty much spam stormtroops to 17th. And also you can get some A-phase neighbor rappers, which would be a fantastic tool in this town, but at the moment... Oh, I love this. This is like hairyspider. He's exploiting the breakthrough in middle with his motorized rifles that a Demi Brigade has managed to make, and that is a lot of territory he's grabbing.
Although, bizarrely enough, there's actually some of the FFI rallies.
Oh yeah, see, he's mixing it up.
Yeah, so that's actually, it's dropping the hammer. We're actually we're not seeing too much of the hairyspider coming through, even with those rifles. But he's forcing out MG42s, which is just, again, so strange to see when a machine gun ever hits the field.
Yeah, especially, you don't even see German machine guns all that often because you just use half-track. They already got the machine gun on top. But with first SS, a 2-star MG42 bumped up to 3 stars, it's actually a pretty good unit.
That's fair. It's totally fair. Now, Pack 38s are kind of coming onto the field, and actually, yeah, wow,
Bang.
Pack 40. Well done, sir.
Good kill. Good kill. And we've got the Stug here as well. So, the Axis do have the armor advantage in the middle. They just need to get some infantry to clean up the enemy infantry, and then they can just use the armor to try and push back into the town.
Well, they're starting to Shrek everything.
Oh yeah.
That 232 is certainly coming on forwards. At long last, we are going to see committed anti-air coming out. It's always amusing when someone buys anti-air to take care of the Lysander, but they are just annoying enough to require that.
I think you could probably like shoot down a Lysander with a pistol if you were a good enough shot.
Yeah, the guy was flying like Henry Fonda's pilot in Battle of the Bulge, but... But in any case, that penetration is getting cleaned up. The town still is very much safely in Allied hands, and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
No, they pretty much got a very firm handle on the town. It's pretty much just going to rely on 17th SS, I'd say, just to spam neighbor efforts to really get a foothold back. But at the moment, the Allies are just putting lovely pressure outside of the town, and they're just keeping up the pressure essentially. And that's exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, throw enough guys into the meat grinder to slow up the the German attack.
Not giving them time to, gather up a force large enough to try to take us back.
Isn't the technical term for that a spoiling attack?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure I'm right on that particular usage, but I'm not 100% sure. It's not something you get to use very often.
Yeah, it's a really cool term. It sounds very correct, so I'm gonna believe you.
I always like when you say that. It just makes me feel so,
I believe in you, Khan. I believe in you.
You can't see me right now, but I'm posing in my armchair as a general. Interesting, we are going to see a Crusader being brought on in. I think this is more just for the anti-infantry issues, as opposed to really being terrified of the SS air power.
Yeah.
As roughly non-existent as it tends to be. But, yeah.
Yeah, but we're finally starting to see the Germans push back the Allies a bit in the middle now. As they're starting to get some fire support on the ground to just mop up the partisan infantry.
True, but the one thing I do like is that both Hammer and Harry over here, they see that their initial thrust is kind of blunted, and what do? They start spreading out that bulge. So beforehand, they were controlled, 89% of the town, and now they control 100% clearly, as well as a lot of the approaches to it. So they're taking their initial pressure, setting up defenses like the Saboteurs and Marquisards, so that way the first guys who come in, well, they're not going to be able to be seen, and it's going to be, okay, a very quick, explosion here, or a slow there.
Yeah, I really just love seeing this just unrelenting force. Like, we're seeing another assault here from hairyspider, in the northern middle part of the map. It's not really that much, it's just a few rifles and saboteurs. This 222 can probably shut it down. But still, he's just keeping on attacking. He doesn't care. Eventually gonna find a weak point and break through somewhere.
And you know what, even if he doesn't, he just keeps those guys behind those forests. And if you can keep the anti-tank guns at range, then your own tanks can sit there and lob support shells from a distance.
Yeah, the best way to defend the town is outside the town.
Yeah, on the enemy side, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Ugh. I always kind of felt like the Demi Brigade it punches above its weight.
It does. It really fills you out, Ray. Yeah, I'm very biased towards that division. I'm not gonna lie. It's my favorite allied division. But it's so cool, because you've got, like, bloody, like, French partisans, and they really do kick a lot of ass, because they got the good stealth, they're very good in CQC, the guys for the Panzerfaust can be extremely bloody sneaky, and with, like, you know, good use of air power and some of the German captured equipment, you can really put a dent in a German force, just as long as you don't lose your few captured units.
Indeed. Now, we haven't seen... I don't think we've seen the captured Pack 40, have we? No, we have the Pack 38. That's what it is. The North, we have that.
Yeah.
That's it. Alright.
Yeah, they've been pretty light. Like, you haven't seen the captured Sharby Run, the captured Jagdpanzer, Boyder Cromwell. Not Boyder Cromwell, but Wrangler Cromwell. Goes down, yeah.
Yep.
So, Hammer still has a lot of tools available going into B phase still for unit rise, which is pretty good. And even then, you can fall back on Guard Armored, as Guard Armored is pretty crazy.
You
Very
are not
well
wrong
armored.
there. Off-map Colin being brought on into 140 mils in the area, and at long last, actually, we've seen Opel Blitz come in to try to fix up this Panzerjäger. Now, unfortunately for him, he's going to have to go through, I would think... Oh, no. Never mind. The Pack 38s and the 6-pounders moved back from the firing line. I thought they were going to be a little bit too close. But both sides stop to take their collective breath before continuing.
Yeah. And going into B phase, I mean, it's just neighbor offers. Get some neighbor offers. All you need. Solve every problem with neighbor offers. I say every cast, and I think they're taking that to heart. We're seeing quite a few neighbor offers. We're seeing like 2 neighbor offers being brought into the middle.
Yep, the Unwin Fiat Siegs. Another one. Is that the one to the north, dude?
I think that's... Is that a neighbor offer or is that a mortar? I think it's a mortar, yeah.
Oh, but unfortunately, one of those neighbor offers is going to be pounding the absolute wrong side of everything. Yes, he'll pick on that motorized rifle a bit, but, you know, the broad scheme of things.
They can kill a 6-pounder, yo.
Yep.
Yeah! Lovely hit.
And that will be the end of that kind of initial defense.
It's the same, they don't have anything immediately on the field to try to counterattack into the town. They
like that crippled Volksdeutsche?
Yeah. The 2-man Volksdeutsche, he's just slowly making his way. He's doing his best.
So, there are 2 flak Vierlings to the north, and I think if they had just suckered in the Lysander a little bit more, they could have shot it down. But,
Probably.
A little too exuberant, they're able to back away in time, and the first barrage of the off-map gets called down, as you can see, of course, on that Pack 38 and the Stug. There was just enough more infantry being brought on in there just to get hammered, as actually another naval Werfer. Did we notice that third one?
Oh, damn. I did not see the third one, but now I see it. And he's just pounding that town. He's got probably like Storm... No, I think there's Pioneers coming in, and he's just gonna barely miss the off-map, which is good. And the Stargate Fate coming in as well, trying to get back in the open ground. The Germans are starting to push back a little bit. They're gaining a little bit of that momentum. Oh, the off-map, yo. Just on the edge. Stretches out the Pioneers just a little bit, forcing them to unload a bit early.
Did that unload them? I thought, well, we saw Schimmelwagen get blown to pieces.
I think that forced him to unload.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Stug, in the meantime, should be able to take out this Stuart. Never mind.
Oh yeah, Firefly. That's gonna be a pain. That's gonna be a tough nut to deal with.
Indeed, but the Germans are bringing in... Oh, wow. They had this little rinky-dink scout guy way behind enemy lines. Watch this anti-tank position get evaporated.
Oh yeah, that Pack 40 is not longing for this world. They really don't want that position. I think that's the naval being brought in as the larger one. Yes, it is.
The FAO.
Damn. Not messing around at all. But the Germans also want to get a bit of a foothold into the town. And there's not really much here, Allied Rise infantry. So these pioneers should be enough to clear it up.
Now, regrettably, they were not able to drop it about another 200 meters to the east. I would have thought if they could have hit that Opel Blitz with all of that junk that's right there.
Oh, that would have been a great hit.
Yes, it would have.
We would have seen like a rest.
Oh, but the Panzer goes down.
Damn! And the supply truck supplying it too. That is a big kill. Jesus. Big kills right here. And a big kill, yeah, knocking out the command thing with the P-47.
Yep, and that's the end of the German push, I would say.
They got off that being dropped in on the piles.
Yeah, I was going to say, we do have that small little group pushing, aggressing. But the Firefly makes his presence known by taking out that squad of Pioneers coming in. And that's going to be about it for them. Lysander might get shot down this time.
Oh, he's gonna book it out just in the nick of time.
The Germans, furious and looking for vengeance, have a dozen units on that main drag over here, going in towards the town. This is when I think you take your naval Naberwerfers and you start just shredding the town again.
Yeah, you just keep Naberwerfing it. Just keep Naberwerfing it. The Allies want to get more reinforcements in there. A lot of those Macchi Sarge, which are fantastic CQC infantry. It's gonna be a bit tough for the Germans. Maybe they should think about doing like a push on the flanks, like up north or down south a little bit. I mean, we're focusing on the town quite a bit, but
of course, again, we always have God Vision here, but there's an awful lot of material to that north.
You're seeing a bit of a push in the southern middle, just with the Vogtdeutsch are taking a little bit of territory. Maybe the Germans will realize that and try to push that area.
Now, regrettably, the Naberwerfer drops its rounds about 50 meters short. The third one, actually, every single one starts to try to blow apart that town. But like we will, continue to say, there's nothing there to back it up, unfortunately.
Yeah, got a northern push being brought in. Sherman trying to push, but getting killed by the Stugfall. But the half-tracks, they're booking it through. They don't care.
And that's what I was going to say. I mean, looking at that right there, you said about trying to work the flanks. I think at best they might be able to work the southern flank. At absolute best. Yeah, when you're trying to kill a Crusader with a Flakvierling, there might be something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Just take a quick look down to the south of the Lysanders. You get so much actual work out of these Lysanders.
I'm amazed they haven't been shot down yet.
Yeah, me too.
Because they usually die. Like, one of them should be dead by now, statistically speaking.
Am I wrong? Because I feel like the Germans have more stuff on the field. I don't know why, but it feels like the Germans should have a lot more on the field here.
Yeah. I feel, yeah. I think they lost a lot in those off-map artillery barrages that try.
Yeah, and yet they still have a ton on the field. I mean, maybe a lot of it's indirect equipment, though. I'm just trying to figure out why. I feel like the Germans should be able to pierce something.
A lot of it is artillery and anti-air, to be frank. Like, there's a lot of anti-air on the field now. That's quite a bit.
That's fair.
They just need some more infantry and some more tanks. Sure, once you get to sea phase, I mean, Allies really do have the sea phase advantage. It's SAS. Has all the crazy stuff, but at the same time, for SSS, even though it doesn't look like it, Point Rise really becomes powerful when sea phase hits with the discount Panthers and all the other crazy stuff.
True. And that time cometh right quick. 2 minutes to go on that one. The Vesp continues to kind of hobble towards the front of the lines, but there are oh no, wait. That's strange. The Opel Blitz is not refilling anyone's magazines here.
Huh. I think it just needs to wait for the rest to stop moving.
Well, I mean, there's a naval buffer who's not getting rounds either.
Oh, it's just... The other one's just slightly out of range.
Oh, is it? Did I miss that?
Yeah, it's just barely out of range. It's hard to tell because like the whole field's bloody yellow.
Yeah, I can see it.
God damn, French painting their field yellow. Can't they understand it in World War II video games 70 years past like the time? Yeah, they've done their fields. Yet there'd be an off-map artillery marker. Yeah, it would also be yellow and be very hard to see from a spectator's point of view. Very
Exactly.
inconsiderate.
Exactly.
Very
you know what? Your people don't need to eat. Stop growing wheat.
Nah. They're gonna make really cool video games in 70 years, guys. Just paint them pink or something.
Now, we did see to the north a P-47 comes on in and rockets another armored car to oblivion. And not for nothing. But there's one lone 6-pounder anti-tank gun crew, which is causing such hassle over here to the north.
Oh,
he
yeah.
jammed up that Stuke 4. And while that Pak-40 finally takes him out, again, trade, 70 points for a lot of time and a lot of space, and that area is just growing further and further, that ticket window, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Allies, they don't have a huge point advantage. The Axis have 20 minutes to take it back, and they do have an opportunity to take it back. It's still really anyone's game, to be entirely honest, but the Allies have been doing a good job just delaying and being a brick wall at this moment.
Well, that's always good, though. I mean, brick definitely adds property values. I mean, if there was a weak kind of plasterboard, that'd be a little more of an issue.
Oh.
And that might actually happen now, because a Panther G comes to the north. Anything scary to the south of Flampanzer, as the Germans finally realize, hey, if they're strong in the north and they're strong in the center, they're probably not strong in the south.
And that's exactly what they're doing. And they could probably take a good amount of territory if they manage to take advantage of this weakness as soon as possible. Trying to think of words here.
Well, it's okay. Words are difficult sometimes.
They are very difficult, especially when you play Scrabble.
Yes. Yes, at that point you're like, eight, Zai, Zoo, Z. Those are all words, right?
Those are words. I'll make them up. I'll pull a Shakespeare.
Exactly. Exactly. Surprisingly enough, the MG-42 down to the South Vogel, the little bird down there, is finally getting into the war, but as we've spoken so many times before, we don't care who your daddy is or what he does. Machine guns are still worthless.
Yeah. Why have a machine gun when you can have a machine gun on a bulletproof vehicle? Yeah.
Well, especially since the crew themselves are just so flimsy.
Yeah. Oh, we've seen the Stuka up north from the Firefly.
Yes, the Ju-87 gets internal fragments.
Oh, so close to getting the kill, yo. So close. But it's gonna force it to fall back and be out of commission for a little bit, so still not bad. He's going for a second gun run, but no avail. We're finally seeing some German air power now. A little bit long overdue.
Yes. Yes. There's a Focke-Wulf over here, too. I bet the Focke-Wulf should really just make a run at the Lysander. Even if you don't really kill something that's exceedingly powerful in its own right, just get rid of it for the recon purposes.
Yeah, they really do need to die. They've been knocking out. They've been given good line of sight to the off-map artillery to hit the AT guns and anti-air and artillery. Though it does go down to the Focke-Wulf, so good kill.
But not before giving line of sight to one final artillery strike. And luckily for that Pak-40, he moved just barely out of his old position, because he was not going to live if he didn't pull back. P-47 run again, got for the P-4, and did decently, but no kill.
No kill. That Panther's really gonna be... That Panther's in a pretty good spot to try to, like, make a dent in that, like, northern middle area by outfield. It's a bit risky, of course. But still, he could potentially inflict some good damage there, or they could.
Certainly true.
But time is slowly ticking away, and out in sea phase, SAS built 76mm Shermans of their own. So it's going to be a rather rather uphill battle when it comes to tank-on-tank fights. At the same time, 17th has Pak-43s, which are really good at knocking out tanks. So maybe we'll see one or two of them on the field. This is a pretty good map for them as well.
Certainly true. I was just thinking, even if the Germans attack, in the end, would it even matter? I mean, they tried so hard, and they might get so far yet. But in the end, it won't even matter either.
I
don't know. It's just one thing you don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try.
God damn it, Cal.
You know, it was just the Linkin Park just clicked eventually. Anyway, just call it a hybrid theory. Panther goes down. 17-pounder takes out the big kitty.
Oh, Jesus.
As the naval rifle 42 blows his load in the north, and yeah, if you are hairyspider, your units are getting masticated by that artillery.
Yeah. Damn. Big kill there. Big bloody kill. Lots of kills. Lots of things have been killed this match, so to speak.
Tons of death. Huge amounts.
Huge amount. Lots of skulls. Lots of blood. Not too much score. It's like
it's a kid's
that
game.
type of game. Yeah. I think it's rated E for everyone.
I think you're right. I think you are absolutely right on that one. P-47, these guys keep coming in. I always feel bad for the German infantry when it gets hit by an anti-tank rocket run. It just... yeah.
That's the lovely thing about Allied anti-tank rockets. They also work as anti-infantry rockets. And the P-47 does go down, yeah.
He almost did manage to take out one of his 2 tormentors down there. Only barely missing at the last second. I would desperately love, and I mean love in air quotes here, I'd love to see an attack, rocket run, bombs, anything on that artillery park over here for the Germans.
Oh, that is... yeah, it's very densely... packed.
That is like the Staten Island of artillery parks. And I don't mean it's made up of Italians either. These are German divisions, let's call it what they are. But, yeah, I feel like that should be just a huge opportunity that's being missed here.
Yeah. We are seeing a push down south, though, through the corridor by the Allies, taking a Firefly into a rather close, dangerous CQC situation. Now, it is working. Admiral, the Fan Panzer's there, and he's just gonna shit in the whole parade.
He will for the time being, but I feel the 6-pounder can move forward even just a tiny bit.
Oh, shot. Will a shot do anything?
I think he's just gonna sod off.
Ah, god damn it, shot. If you just stopped and shot, you maybe, just maybe, killed the Fan Panzer.
We are going to 6-pounder is going to go and try to engage that Stug 3, and the Firefly is going to back him up too. And that is a dead Stug.
Firefly doesn't mess around.
As you have correctly noted, though, the Germans are slowly clawing their way back into this town. It is not simple, nor has it been a clean particular fight.
No.
But they are slowly doing it.
Yeah, and we're starting to see a bit of the Panther D spam from Fussel, which is to be expected. The first SS, but they're not really in any particular or really well supported to be able to really exploit it. And time's really taken for the Germans now. At this point, they need like a +2 to take a victory.
Yes, especially with being down 800. Wow, look at all of those artillery rounds impacting on that town.
Yeah, that is, that's a lot of naval rifles. Over all the problems with naval rifles.
I mean, that town is just completely flamed. I mean, it's like someone played the 1812 Overture and forgot to keep the cannons unloaded.
Giant holes in the theatre. That's probably been an accident at some time.
Well, you think about it, it's like, oh, honey, you played the 1812 Overture, right? You're the lead artilleryman? How'd you do? We killed them, honey. They loved it. Oh, yeah. But the town fight has bogged down, and I cannot blame them. You need firefighters in there before you need anything else.
Yeah. It always seems like every time the Germans do a push into the town, they just don't have enough infantry to follow up on it. It's always like only like 1 or 2 pioneer squads. Never, like, you need, like, a bloody platoon.
Yes.
And half tracks just to rush on down through and get into the center of the town and hold it from there.
Well, and at the very least, if you're going to send in 1 or 2 squads, send in full squads and not...
Yeah. Yeah. The southern exploit, yo, from the Allies is really gonna put a dent in the Germans, and Firefly's in a great position, very well defended with the 6-pounder covering the north of it. That's gonna be a real pain in the German side, and honestly the southern side was the best area for the Germans push, and now it's no longer the case.
I was going to note, actually, up to the north, there's one Firefly who's almost out of AP ammo. He's used almost 40 rounds.
I think that's the guy who got critted earlier.
Oh, okay. All right, I take back my impress and all my impressiveness.
They're just very stingy on ammo. Like, oi, Smith, you only got 8 shots for you, mate. You bloody well get 9 kills with these, all right?
Well, he did pretty well. He took out a P4 just now.
Oh,
but,
that's pretty good.
Down to the south, you're right. Actually, I'm entranced by the fact that there's this Panther D who's just not willing to help his troops at all. It's like a very Braveheart moment.
Mm-hmm. He's just hanging out. He's just enjoying the raw. You know, he doesn't really want to be here at this point. He just wants to go home.
Yeah, I get it. We do have rifles moving in super tight here against the Volksdeutsche. And this is either going to be brilliant or it's going to be awful. My guess is, yeah, shockingly enough, the rifles are going to get shredded by disheartened troops, which should never happen.
Yeah. Fortunately, the machine guns aren't disheartened.
Yes. But you know what else is coming in? Well, a Crusader, a Stuart, and some more attendant troops.
Oh, damn.
So there might be a Faust in the future. But the Stuart and Remy and Crusader really should be able to get stopgapped from that. Ooh, Mosquito goes down.
We've seen a heavy or BEF Panther coming in down south trying to plug in that gap, but it's going to be able to plug the gap, but it's not going to be able to really exploit past it. Or maybe with this, the JU-87, like the Firefly, like the Stury. That could actually turn things around, but...
That is true, but if that was the case, why doesn't the JU-87 just shred every single thing on there? You know, one-shot all of it, and then...
Yeah. Guess your Crusader AA...
Well, since he's going to align up again, but there still is at least one of those 25mm cannons. It ain't beautiful, it ain't pretty, but it can at least freak somebody out a little bit. And really, the last guy I want to aggress on is that Firefly in the first place. I don't care if it's 1,000 meters away or 100. I don't want to be aggressing against that.
Yeah. Too risky, especially the Panther. It's considerably a bit more expensive.
Yes.
Than a Firefly.
Yes. Now, we do see Quick Play bringing on in that atrociously designed half-track. Whoa! Typhoon T takes out the Panther.
Damn. I think that Panther is pretty much undamaged.
Yeah.
For the most part. So that's a clean gun run from the Typhoon AT. It does pay for it. But at the same time, it was... Funnily enough, it wasn't actually cost efficient for the Typhoon AT. Because that Panther's only 200 points. But still, it's a good kill.
But think about what it represents, though, too.
Bloody 200 points for a Panther. That's such a good deal. Such a bargain. Imagine if the Germans could buy Panthers in real life for 200 points. They would have run the war.
200 marks.
200 marks.
Man, you gotta mind your P's and Q's. That's Panthers and... thank yous. I don't know. Focke-Wulf coming on into the south, not too surprising there. We have a second, or actually a third Panzer being brought on in. Not a Befehle, I think it's another PD. Yep, another Panther D.
Another Panther D.
And the Firefly, there we go.
Damn. No, I think... Oh, yeah, it was, yeah.
Oh, it was totally the Firefly, yeah.
Yeah, that was totally the Firefly. I saw the other Sherman now, I was really confused, but Firefly popped into view, and it's like, ah, yep, that's more likely.
But what I was about to say, though, is that even if you continue to lose all this air power, it takes out high-value targets. Supremely high-value targets. Who cares if you are losing a P-47 as long as you take out a Panther?
Yeah. And really, the first test, so the main gimmick is late stage, is spamming Panthers. And they do have a lot of Panthers on the field, to be fair, and they have brought on a lot of Panthers, but haven't been in a position to really push through the Panthers. As Guardian Armored is now Firefly spamming to hell and back, and we've got 76 more Shermans. Some rare, maybe. But it's... yeah, pretty much the Germans are quite good at this point.
Now we might see the Firefly go down. Tracks and wheels destroyed, I think, courtesy of the 170 mil off-map. Maybe. Or maybe that might have been the Panther D, for all I know.
I think it's
regardless. The Panther D continues to show us why, you know, the auto-lock, don't move sights would have been wonderful. But not happening here.
Having a hard time hitting that Firefly.
Ju-87, though, he's looking to take out a second Firefly. The one to South finally does go down. You gotta think about how slow that guy is going, too. Guy, he's like right in front of you.
Got Spitfire chasing him. Focke-Wulf coming to save the day.
Yeah, but a head-to-head run, at least he doesn't take out his off-map Colin. That would have been embarrassing.
And now the Allies got a lot of airplanes on the field, and that Focke-Wulf is fucked.
Yep. And not to be morbid, but I continue to want to see that actually kill something.
When it crashes?
Yeah!
I know, it's so satisfying.
More and more Panther Ds coming out over here, more and more Nebelwerfer strikes happening, and a Thunderbolt comes back in the center of the Panther G. Yes, you're saying that bringing in all those Panthers is the gimmick, but you gotta do something with the Panthers. You just can't collect them.
Yeah. It's really been, like, I gotta give hairyspider and Hammer credit. They've been putting on pressure this entire match. Like, I've been completely unrelenting in trying to attack and push. Like, I can really feel it for the Germans, for Fussel and Quick Play. They've been trying to push, they've been trying to gain up forces to attack.
Sorry, 2 complete Opal Blitzes get wrecked, as does one of those very, very valuable Nebelwerfers.
Yeah, that was fantastic hit, yeah. But yeah, they try to attack Axis, but it just always doesn't fall through. They're always stopped by the Allies and some way of another, and they haven't been able to reverse momentum the entirety of the match, and that's really been the issue. And now the Allies have just lots of tanks and airplanes on the field. It's a little bit too late for Fussel and Quick Play.
Totally fair. Totally fair. Yeah, if we didn't know any better, you would have thought that it was the Allies who were down. But, yeah. Stug's going down left and right. We have, even if the occasional anti-tank gun for the, Americans goes down, rather, again, let me try this again, the Allies goes down. There are absolutely no Americans on this map. Ju-88 to the north. The big booms. And doesn't matter. Ju-87 comes back in again, though. One shot's the French wannabe tank. The Spitfire, I dare say, should probably pick him up. Somebody will. Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
What I said wasn't that important. Maybe we'll go to ×2 at like 43-35.
Yeah, let's do that. But there's some mop-up operation now for the Allies.
Yeah,
exactly. +2, they're pushing pretty hard to 1 ×2.
Now, it's actually kind of sad. We see a couple of Pack 43s on the map, but they're so far back they're not going to be able to do nearly anything.
They're very much like set up as a last defense sort of ordeal.
Yep.
And the Germans are really setting up their last defense at the moment.
And I think, even though one of the Lysanders will die, a Lysander will make it through the entire match. Which is weird.
That is weird.
The double Junkers moving on in, desperate to take out anything they can. The Firefly will not be denied. He has 1 round of AP ammo. Question is, will he shoot anything worthwhile with it? 1 shot in the vest. Misses. But yes, yeah, the KD... decently close on some occasions. Fussel was getting knocked around quite a bit. I think all those dead Panthers at the end really kind of messed him up.
Yeah, Crick play managed to stay positive, yo, which is pretty good considering you lost.
Yes.
But Hammer, absolutely killing it. Same with... But no, both, that wasn't actually... Yeah, both the allies only really getting like 300 point difference between kills and losses.
Yes.
And looking at kills, naval artillery, and the P-47 both did decent. The P-47 only really killed like vehicles.
Yeah, but that's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, that's what it's meant to do. Losses, nothing really too crazy in terms of the KD or losses. Doesn't look at the history real fast, and
it's all over the place.
Yeah, it is. It is all over the bloody place. It definitely feels like in B phase, the Germans are losing much more. Like, they took some heavy losses in B phase compared to the Allies.
Yes, it seems pretty fair. I was gonna say, I've not seen karvainen Hama before, but I certainly hope we see some more replays from him in the near future.
Aye.
Any last gems for us to pick out of the mountain there, Rang?
No, the mountain's there. It's been completely dug up, the mines have been abandoned, and all the gems have been sold to some fancy jewelry company somewhere in Nevada.
Orcs or us. Fair enough. Folks, in that case then, it will do it for us today. Not sure. I think we're back to a regular posting schedule next week. But I think for right now, Rang, I am Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.